This is ABC15 Mornings.
Train cars tossed off the tracks, bursting into flames. It was hard to miss in downtown Phoenix last night. We're breaking down what happened here.
And a new policy going into effect right now for those planning on being out and about this weekend in Phoenix. Who's required to wear a mask and where?
Plus, how our community, along with Americans across the country, celebrated Juneteenth and why this year's festivities were especially important to the Black Lives Matter movement. Good morning. It is 6 o'clock on your Saturday. Welcome to your weekend. I'm Megan Thompson in for Nohalani Graff.
And I'm Mark Thompson, social distancing, but not from home this morning. I'm actually here at the ABC15 news station, but I'm up in the balcony here. And Megan, it's hello there. Good to see you. Good to be with you. How are we shaping up with the forecast this morning?
You know, Mark, it's going to be warm. And I know many of us are thinking about what are we going to do for Father's Day this weekend. It is tomorrow. So if you needed that reminder this morning, there it is for you. So right now, if you wanted to step outside your door and maybe walk the dog or maybe go for a hike, it's 78 degrees right now in Phoenix. Your winds are picking up just a little bit, around 9 miles per hour. It's just a little breeze here and there for you. And take a look at those beautiful skies. Mostly sunny, a little bit of clouds around there as well. The sun came up right around 5:18 this morning, so I'm sure many of you are already hiking on those trails there now. We are going to warm up well beyond the triple digits, and especially going into tomorrow and next week. We're going to break down all of that in your full, most accurate forecast in just minutes, Mark.
All right, Megan, thank you. And we want to start with some breaking news this morning out of Phoenix. You can see a large police presence near University and the 143. That's in the V-Live parking lot, and our crew on the scene did see one person leaving in an ambulance from the strip club there, as well as bullet casings on the ground. We're still working to find out exactly what happened, and as soon as we learn more, we'll be sure to update you right here on ABC 15. And you may have seen the dark smoke last night visible for miles from downtown Phoenix. That's the result of a train derailment. Just look at that. That led to a massive fire fueled by diesel fuel. Now, the flames erupting on the tracks off of 9th Avenue, that's south of Jefferson. Fortunately, no one was injured in all of this. The crew did get there and get out safely after Phoenix Fire says that 5 railroad cars caught fire, and for more than 2 hours, firefighters, they held back and they had to let it burn because spraying water on that train fire, it can be dangerous due to the electrical components that are involved. Now, the crew did lay down foam to prevent that fire from spreading. And right now, there's still no word on how that train derailed in the first place. Both Phoenix and the train operator, Union Pacific, they are investigating this morning. And another major fire in West Phoenix. This was last night, a barbecue exploding in this one, an apartment complex near 75th Avenue in McDowell. 5 people hurt in that blast, including 2 children. It's still unclear what caused that barbecue to burn out of control, but we're working to get more information.
The city of Phoenix mask requirement has officially gone into effect. The policy started right at the top of the hour here at 6 o'clock. This as Maricopa County announces their policies following another day of record high numbers. Yesterday, the County Board of Supervisors approving their own policy requiring masks across the entire county. Their order essentially covers all the cities. They have not put a mandate in place. Now, this means everyone in Maricopa County is required to wear a face covering.
Now to the coronavirus in nursing facilities this week. And we told you about new numbers released by the federal government earlier, and it shows that facilities in our area are being impacted the most. But some companies have reached out to ABC 15 to further explain their cases, including Lifestream Senior Living in Youngtown. They say that 20 of their 22 COVID patients were actually transferred to their building for better care, meaning that those cases did not originate at their facility. All of the data that we pulled was from Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, their website, which was reported by the facilities themselves.
Some call him America's sheriff, but now he's one of America's newest in quarantine. Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb going one-on-one with ABC15 after testing positive for COVID-19. Lamb says he found out on Tuesday after flying into our nation's capital to be in the Rose Garden with sheriffs from across the country as the president signed an executive order on police reform. But he thinks he was exposed at a campaign event in Santan Valley, where video posted to his own Facebook page right here shows him sharing hugs close together in a large crowd of people and not wearing a mask.
You're right. A lot of people weren't wearing masks, and I wasn't. I was willing to take that risk. You know, I think everybody that came to the event, they're all aware of what's going on with coronavirus. You do these events, and I'm part of who I am is I'm very personable. And so, yeah, I got comfortable, and look, I'm probably going to pay the price now for it.
When asked about the future, Sheriff Lamb says he still won't wear a mask after he's cleared. Right now, he's working with Pinal County health officials to trace and contact everyone he encountered since he was exposed. His family, wife, and kids included. They're still waiting on their test results this morning. Meanwhile, Governor Doug Ducey ordering flags to be lowered at half staff today to honor Michael Lee, a Navajo police officer who died from COVID-19. The 50-year-old becoming the first officer currently on the tribal police force to die of coronavirus.
You can hear the chants there. Marchers taking to the streets of Phoenix last night to mark Juneteenth, one of America's oldest holidays commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. This demonstration winding its way through downtown and then ending at the state capitol. That's where we saw this red paint splattered on the Confederate monument there outside of the state capitol, with protesters gathered around it calling on state leaders to tear it down. Juneteenth protests and celebrations happening all over the country. New Yorkers, they were holding a peaceful march against police brutality. The holiday is typically a day of joy, but this year it served as a day of national action. Earlier this week, Governor Andrew Cuomo, he declared Juneteenth a state holiday, acknowledging rampant systemic discrimination and injustice, saying that it's a real opportunity to reflect on the changes that need to be made. And in our nation's capital, activists filed there recently, and they renamed the street there Black Lives Matter Plaza across from the White House. In addition to the traditional Juneteenth gatherings and readings of the Emancipation Proclamation, several hundred people gathered to demand justice for those who were killed at the hands of police. And across the country in Los Angeles, Freedom Day was celebrated, as it is every year, with parades, rallies, music, and family fun. But the conversation this year was a little bit different. Where do we go from here, and how do we improve race relations in our country?
We're on wildfire watch this morning as we head into a busy weekend for fire crews in our state. The bushfire in the Tonto National Forest now burning 151,000 acres. To put that into perspective for you, that is larger than the city of Scottsdale. And on the right, the Bighorn Fire near Tucson, where the estimated containment has actually gone down to 21%. It's charred 37,000 acres so far. And as we take a look at that most accurate forecast for you, what those firefighters will be dealing with on the front lines, unfortunately, we continue to have high risk for more wildfire outbreak and the continued spread of these wildfires because we are seeing some incredibly hot temperatures right now. Of course, it's the Valley of the Sun. We expect it, but we're not getting really any relief over the next couple of days as we show you futurecast really quick. Really just a cloud maybe up in the sky in northern Arizona, but really no storms to speak of over the next couple of days, despite the fact that we are in monsoon actually right now. So we're still waiting for any of those storms and some relief potentially for those firefighters. As for today here in the Valley of the Sun, 7 a.m. 79 degrees for you, just shy of that 80-degree mark. Then by 10 a.m. though, we will jump into the 90s and then we will continue to rise from there. 102 by 2 p.m. and we will climb to 105 degrees for your forecasted high today. Tomorrow, even warmer going into next week. We're going to talk all about that coming up in your full, most accurate forecast.
Megan, thank you. And coming up, one of the states hit hardest by the coronavirus will host the president's first rally in months there today. We'll hear from a number of concerned health experts. Also, how to make sure that you're staying safe during this monsoon season. It's 6:09 on your Saturday morning. We'll be right back. Stay with us, everybody.
This morning, a grim reminder that the coronavirus is still very real. Several states are setting records when it comes to positive cases, including us and Oklahoma, where today the president is holding his first political rally in months. ABC's Tanya Hernandez has the story.
The World Health Organization out with an urgent warning. The pandemic is accelerating and the world is in a dangerous phase. The CDC predicting another 25,000 Americans could die by July 11th. Coronavirus-related deaths are up in 13 states and Washington, D.C. Hospitalizations up in 17 states, including Texas, up 108% since Memorial Day. Doctors there warning it could get worse.
People are walking around without face masks. They're getting close together. If we don't take precautions, we're going to see a spike, and we're seeing one right now.
Masks now mandatory for businesses in Dallas and Harris County.
The idea is to see this as a no shirt, no shoes, no mask, no service.
Apple taking measures too, closing 11 stores in the Carolinas, Arizona, and Florida. And for the 5th time this week, Florida has smashed its daily record. Over 3,800 new infections, and many of those are young people.
I think that we've started to see, some erosion in the social distancing from probably some of the younger population.
All eyes now on Oklahoma. President Trump's first political rally in months later today. Up to 20,000 Trump supporters expected to pack Tulsa's Bank of Oklahoma Center. Health experts there warning risks are high.
I know that the COVID cases are going to go up. There's just no getting around it.
The White House says there will be temperature checks, hand sanitizer, and masks at the door, but there's no requirement to wear them.
I personally am not going to wear a mask. It's our option. It's our choice to wear a mask. I do trust my immune system.
Rallygoers agreeing to a disclaimer, saying they acknowledge the health risks and agree the Trump campaign and the area itself are not liable for any illnesses or injury. Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
Arizona is preparing for a visit from the president as well. We've learned that he'll be in Yuma on Tuesday before heading to Phoenix later that afternoon for an event at Dream City Church. An organizer tells us roughly 3,200 people are expected to be there as part of the president's address to America's youth. The event taking place as COVID-19 numbers hit an all-time high in our state. The organizer says that they do plan to comply with city guidelines.
We believe that these young people and these students have a right, if they so choose, to come to hear from the President of the United States. And so part of freedom, which we advocate for, is responsibility. And every young person, we're going to tell them to be responsible. Come at your own risk.
The group Students for Trump is hosting that event, and we're told that they did secure that venue before the president even confirmed that he'd be coming. His speech is expected to get started sometime after 3 o'clock. And as the president returns to the campaign trail, his rival Joe Biden is just launching some new television ads, which you'll see here in Arizona.
That's what the presidency is, the duty to care for all of us, not just those who vote for us, but all of us.
Biden also expanding his presence here by filling 2 senior-level staffing positions. Arizona is viewed by many as a battleground state heading into the November election.
To that most accurate forecast for you, it is the weekend after all. Happy Saturday to you. I'm Megan Thompson with that most accurate forecast. Now, we do have a hot weekend ahead as to be expected, so I wanted to start with a beautiful view for you. This is a live look right now as the sun is up and the day is full of possibilities for you, maybe just more indoors or in the pool. Let's take a look at some of the current conditions right now all across the valley. We're in the upper 70s there in Phoenix at 78 degrees, 74 degrees in Chandler, 78 degrees for you in Mesa. Good morning. 73 in Glendale and 76 degrees for you in Goodyear. Here's that dog walk forecast for you because I know you maybe want to get out the door right now. That's the best idea. This is the good amount of time for you to be able to do that. But unfortunately, we're going to warm up already by that 11 a.m. hour. It's going to be a very cautious and treacherous walk. So make sure they either have their little booties on or you just maybe get it done in the morning because by 1 to 6 p.m. it is way too hot to take your dog for a walk. Here's that Valley Planner for you to show you exactly what the temperatures are going to look like so you understand here. So we're going to stay in the 80s by 8 a.m. Then by 9 a.m. that's when we jump into the 90s at 91 degrees. Then by noon we're just shy of those triple digits at 97 degrees. 102 by 2 p.m. 105. That is our forecasted high. We're expected to hit at around 4 p.m. Now this puts us right in the normal range for this time of year. So we kind of expected this, right? But it's still hard to deal with. Even our low temperature is right on track. And if we wanted some more good news, the record high was 119 set back in 2017. We don't have that. So that's the good news. So more good news if you wanted to maybe get your car washed. That's the errand you need to run today. You have the green light for a few days here, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the green, because we don't have any storm chances in our forecast. Now, of course, it is monsoon, so we're wondering, where is that rain? When is it going to come? Well, right now, we're only talking about some temperatures through Futurecast. So you can see we have a ridge of high pressure that's just going to be sitting over the desert southwest, bringing some even warmer temperatures our way and no rain in sight. Let's take a look at some temperatures all across the state right now. 56 degrees in Prescott, 78 degrees in Quartzsite for you, 42 at the Grand Canyon, 68 degrees in Sedona, 63 in Shola, and I'll step out for Safford, 67 degrees for you. 103 though in Safford is the forecasted high, 106 in Lake Havasu City, 90 degrees in Prescott, Winslow, 94 degrees is your forecasted high, 88 degrees for you in Window Rock. Now, if you're looking for some relief into those overnight hours tonight, we're just going to drop into the upper 70s. So keep that in mind if you have any outdoor activities tonight or into tomorrow morning for, of course, Father's Day. I know my brother was talking about taking my dad golfing tomorrow morning. I keep telling him, do it early because this is how we're going to warm up. We're going to start warming quickly. By 8 a.m., we're already almost at 90 degrees tomorrow. Then by noon, 102 degrees. And then into those evening hours, 107. The actual forecasted high for tomorrow is 108 as I take you through that 7-day forecast. So today, 105 for Father's Day, 108 degrees. Then as we start our work week yet again, our temperatures, they ramp up from there because of that ridge of high pressure. So Monday, 109 also on Tuesday. Then come Wednesday, 110, Thursday, 111, sticking around that 111 mark come Friday. Now it's a hot and dry week, but monsoon 2020 has officially started with the season. It goes through from now until September 30th. The monsoon brings a shift in winds which carry moisture into our state, and that higher humidity combined with our sizzling summer heat creates the perfect environment for powerful desert storms. Now, Phoenix averages nearly 3 inches of rain during the monsoon, which is about a third of our average yearly rainfall. It's also the time of year when we see powerful storms that bring damaging winds, deadly lightning, and blinding dust. So before storms strike this year, we really want you to be prepared for all of the hazards. We have a complete online resource for you right now at abc15.com/monsoon. And as long as it's safe to take photos or videos, we really want to see the weather in your neighborhood, what it looks like this season. So remember to send those images to share at abc15.com.
All right, Megan, thank you. And still ahead, this pandemic has significantly impacted the elderly community. An expert explains how this could be taking a toll on their mental health as well. Also, COVID-19 forcing travel industries to make big changes, all while taking on immense losses. What the future of air travel could look like, that's next. Welcome back, everybody. The airline industry decimated by COVID-19 in recent months. So what will the future of air travel look like going forward? Aviation experts expect fewer flights, the use of smaller planes, and the price, of course, of tickets to go up. The industry is facing a nearly $90 billion loss worldwide. Expect more security and employees in masks and shields separating gate agents from passengers. On board the plane, the air will be circulated vertically and refreshed every few minutes. Airline execs say safety, not savings, will motivate passengers to fly once again. The largest movie chain in America reversing course on its controversial stance on masks. AMC now saying masks will be mandatory at their theaters across the United States. The about face coming just one day after the CEO said that it would be up to customers if they wanted to wear a mask or not, saying AMC did not want to be drawn into any political controversy, but now a U-turn ahead of the July reopening.
While businesses are returning to a new normal, the number of coronavirus cases continue to climb in our state. That means our most vulnerable populations, our seniors, are advised to keep staying home. I talked with an expert about what this is doing to their mental health and how we can take action while still being apart.
They're watching TV a lot, they're watching the news a lot, so they're familiar with what's going on in the world.
Seeing the state reopening despite any disappearance of this deadly virus.
All these things are flashing in front of them, yet they know that they can't leave the home. They know that if they were to contract COVID-19, that a lot of times they don't get over it. And it's that scary feeling, that unknown, that really worries them, and ultimately it brings down their mental health as well.
John Skelton is the owner of Tempe's Senior Helpers, providing in-home care like companionship, helping with hygiene, or running errands.
Our caregivers' role has shifted a little bit to being their lifeline to the outside world. These are doing the things that normally a family member would do that doesn't want to bring anything to the home either.
A lifeline to go get groceries or even to help with the technology they need to stay connected.
The caregiver might be the one that sets up the FaceTime or sets up the Zoom call with family and friends. So a lot of times our caregivers, they do have the weight of another individual on their shoulders.
Skelton says to fight those feelings of isolation, those check-ins are crucial.
It doesn't need to be a FaceTime. It doesn't need to be, an extra long conversation like you haven't spoken in years. It can be just a quick phone call to say, hey, how you doing? Is everything okay? What'd you eat for breakfast this morning? Just little check-ins like that.
He also says encourage older family members to get outside. That also may be a way for a loved one to join in, keeping a safe distance on a stroll.
The fresh air, the sun on your face, do a quick walk in the morning when it's not too hot and there's not a lot of other people and activity going on. And that goes a long way. If you do have to leave the house for whatever reason, take the proper measures, wear the mask, gloves, hand sanitizer before and after you leave the house. And just keep in mind that, don't be touching your face, things like that. They go a long way, but really for right now, for the mental side of things, just check in on family members, check in on friends, make sure everyone's okay, and it goes a long way. If you're a younger person like myself or you, Megan, just remember that anything we do is going to reflect on the seniors as well. We might not feel the effects of it, but they might. So as a society, let's keep those in mind as well.